German invasion of the Low Countries, my grandfather and the rest of his family fled from the invading Axis armies by moving to southern France. However, they could not escape France in time, and as a result, they were forced to live through World War II under the control of the Vichy France government. Immediately after France was liberated from the Germans by the Allies, my grandfather and his family were once again faced with the question of whether to immigrate to the United States or remain in France. During the war, Allied bombing had damaged their home. Because of their refugee status, my grandfather and his family were treated as second-class citizens, even though the Nazis had been defeated. Jobs for refugees remained scarce, forcing my family to just barely scrape out a living working as part-time farm hands. At first, my grandfather's family was rejected from gaining the necessary papers to immigrate to America because they did not have papers proving that their parents were not Nazis. In order to gain these papers, they had to work an extra 2 years for their landlord in order to pay off previous debts. Finally, as a result of this, they were given the papers that proved that they were agricultural workers and not workers for the Nazis during the war. This fact greatly helped my grandfather and his family gain visas to the United States because in 1947, 50% of those visas that were given to refugees were required to, by law, be given to agricultural workers. With these visas in hand, the U.S. Embassy paid for their passage to America, and my family finally arrived safely in New York Harbor on April 1st, 1948. In America, my grandfather was able to attend college and become a successful biochemist and help to develop several strains of pesticides that would help to feed our prosperous nation. Through this story of my grandfather's immigration to the United States, we can see how America employs a selective immigration policy which allows immigrants who we believe will be beneficial to our country to become citizens. And in the case of my grandfather, we can see how by allowing immigrants into our country, they can unlock their full potential, free from the oppression and poverty that they may face in other parts of the world.